so that it's going to operate more so like Mutual of Omaha, IULE, or something like that. So you can go like straight coverage route, or you can go the route that's going to like build cash and like accumulate. And that's the main goal of it. So you can kind of pick one direction or the other to go. And it's really, really easy to use.
Yeah, it's super simple and like it takes a lot of, I noticed, Jared, it makes me like think less because the normal pass setter product, you have to know quite a bit about it to get the triggers, going the right way and to get exactly what your client's looking for. With the navigator process, it just asks you a few questions, you're answering yes or no, and it'll come up with the illustration for you. So I saw in the comments, really good reason to have yearly retention calls with your clients. Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. When there's new products coming out and you can get excited about it, doesn't mean that they're going to cancel the first policy you sold with them. But what if they want a retirement tool, right? What if they want a retirement tool? F&G Quantum's a great option to work for them to get their cash accumulated within their policy. All right, so digital products, big rock for the year. Number two is resets. You guys have been crushing this. We've been on the leaderboards every single week as a master agency. I don't want to be third or fourth anymore. I want this master agency to be first. Guys, there's a lot of people making passive income from simply taking their mortgage protection client, asking them one or two of the right questions, and then booking that with a subject matter expert. And guys, we have some really good subject matter experts on our team. You guys want to have your clients sit with Giovanna, or you want to have them sit with Venus Diaz or Teresa Kelly, or Jared Salatis? Yeah, I would too. You get that client helped out with their first need, which is the mortgage protection, and then you book them in a reset with one of the subject matter experts, and you guys are going to make passive income off of that policy being sold once you rebook it. So go ahead and put a 2 in the chat if you've ever booked a reset. And you guys are about to see here for the new folks how many people have actually booked resets on our teams. And this is why we're winning on the national leaderboards. But I want to double down on this because I think this is such a special opportunity to take a brand new agent and put 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 grand in their pocket their first couple weeks of being an agent here. And Latonia's eyes just got a little bit bigger. She's like, "You say what?" Okay. So, Latonia, you're sitting with a client, you just sell them mortgage protection, and you ask them, "Hey, Latonia, if we could show you a way to pay off your mortgage without paying anything extra in like 9 years or less, would you be interested in hearing about that?"
Of course I would.
Normally they say, "Hell yes, I would." But you're going to ask them that question and they're going to respond, and all you're going to do is book it into an SME's calendar. So, again, if you guys don't know how to do this, this is a good reason to set a meeting with your upline. Say, "Hey, I saw the Big Rocks meeting. I want to make sure that I'm doing what the company's doing." And then number three, working your existing book and working orphan clients. All right. We had a really, really good training that Sarah Hadley does, and just about working her book of business. And she's been working with Eleanor and learning from her about how Eleanor works her book of business. Those two do this really, really well. I know there's a lot of you who do this. Jared, I've been seeing you all over Slack talking about your policy reviews and different ways that you're helping out existing clients. Well, the company's focusing on this big time this year. We want to give you more transparency to your book of business, and we want to make sure that orphan clients are getting taken care of. That means that clients have fallen off the books and we want them back on the books so that they know that they're covered. Because I would say, Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, probably 70% ish of clients that fall off the books, they don't even know that they got their policy canceled.
Yeah, that's super accurate. A lot of whenever I see a policy fall off the books, I reach out to clients and be like, "Hey, was this like a oops or was this intentional?" And even the ones that say, "Oh no, like I called to cancel it," you go, "Great, why?" And then they might say something like, "Oh, I want a different kind of coverage or cost or something like that." I'd be like, "Great, well let's shop and find some other options for you." And I've saved a ton of business that way.
Yep, same here. This has been like in 2024 for me, a couple $100,000 in production from working my book of business and working referrals from those people. So really want to focus on, for those newer agents, this isn't so much for you, but for if you've been here for over 5 months, this is for you. Okay, working the 5 R's, the referrals, the resets, the rugrats, the recruits. Okay, I already said resets. The 5 R's, working your existing books, and then also going after orphan clients. And then number four, big rock for the year, is building an agency and a base shop. I truly believe we're going to have 15 new agency owners this year. And in order to do so, you need to start building your agency because a lot of you put your name, a lot of you said me in the chat, and you're not building your agency yet. And I have a question for you. Why not? Why not? Why the heck not? Go and build your agency. All right. You can start month one. We have training, we have live sales calls. We have a handbook that they can follow to get licensed and train on how to sell life insurance. We have a community that they can plug into. We have lots of people that can help them. Raise your hand if you can help out a new agent. Look at the screen. There's a lot of people that can help. Go build your agency. Kate and I started our first month. We walked in, we had 6 writers our very first month. We did that because we saw the long-term vision here. All right. And the long-term vision for us wasn't selling life insurance policies until we're Danny Young's age. That'd be pretty crazy if Danny Young was still selling life insurance policies at 78 years old. Okay. But he makes somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000 every single month because he hired a couple good people. His life is different. Okay. So go set yourself up with a different future. This isn't really about now money for me. What this is about to Kate and I is about choices in the future. We want to make choices in the future for our family without having to worry about money. Okay. All right. Those are the big rocks. That's it, guys. So really want to talk about our target. Take a look back. 2022, this was for our master agency. We submitted 401,000 in premium just to show you guys how quick this can build. And there are agencies out there who have built much, much quicker than us. But we've had a pretty good ride. And this year is going to be the craziest ride because we're set apart and we're going to do things different. And so we went to 1.1 million our second year in 2023. 2024 was 3.2 million, mainly through the partnership with the Granzard Agency and the Mitru Agency. Shout out to them. But really good year of growth. And then when I did this call for you guys last year in 2025, put a 3 in the chat if you were there. Last time I did the mission, vision, and values conversation. Yep, a lot of you were there. And I sat on that call and I said, this year we're going to help out 2,400 families and we're going to cross the 4 million mark. Well, the results are in. You guys know that reel that everyone's posting lately? The results are in for 2025. Yeah, this is it. The results are in. 3,179 families helped and 4.03 million in annual premium. So I was way off on the amount of families that I thought this group could help, but I was dang close on the amount of premium I knew you guys would do. So congratulations to everyone here for 2026. Woo! There we go. Let's go. Giovanna, like half of that was you, so go ahead. 2026, our goal is 6 million in annual premium volume. We're definitely going to do it. I'm pretty sure we could do 7, but 6 is going to be our target. 500 ready to writes and 400 new writers. For you, the leaders that see that number, if you're a new agent, that probably doesn't mean much to you. If you're a leader, that probably means a lot to you because you got to ask yourself, how much am I going to grow my agency? How much am I going to be able to grow my agency? Thank you, Brooke Harder, for taking a picture of this because I think you're going to be a big part of this. I believe you are. And where is my piece of the pie? I think Wilbur texted me earlier. He wants 150 new writers for the year. So this is a big enough vision for all of our agency owners to fit inside. And if I made it too small, you guys will tell me on our next leadership meeting. Okay. All right. It's going to happen. We're going to see a lot of new faces in here and a lot more families are going to get protected with life insurance. But the coolest part is a lot of you are going to change your lives through the work that you do this year because you're going to set yourself apart. You guys ready? All right. I want you guys to ask yourselves a question. We came up with this on an accountability call a couple weeks ago. I asked the group, I said, if you were to put together a dream team, what types of characteristics and quality would that person have? All right. This is the list that we came up with, but I want you guys to put in the chat some other qualities that you would say, hey, this type of person belongs on my dream team. We've got a consistent agent. We've got a gritty agent, a committed agent, an agent with a big vision. I see in the chat from Laura, driven and goal-oriented. Yeah, absolutely. Those should have gone on there. I'm not very smart. That's why I have you guys. Okay. Purposeful. Absolutely. Coachable. 100%. This agent is going to serve others really, really well. Not just their clients, but the other people on the team. Yes, we need 10 Sabinas. Yes, we need people that are hungry. Yes, we need people that lift weights. Great positive attitude. Cheerleaders for themselves and for others. Absolutely. We need optimistic people. Optimism is a superpower, guys. It is 100% a superpower. If you're pessimistic, try to change your values. Okay? Pessimism doesn't work in entrepreneurship. It just doesn't. No good entrepreneurs have that quality about them, I promise you. You need to be self-motivated. You need to edify and lift others up well. Absolutely. I love that, Giovanna. Values hospitality. So good. You want to take care of people? You're going to get paid really well for it. Keep taking care of people. Empathetic, 100%. Team player, self-motivated. I love all these. All right, what sets the great apart from the good is not talent. We did a call about 4 months ago, and I called it Talent Isn't Enough. It was based on a John Maxwell book, but the call was talent isn't enough. I truly believe it's not. And my soccer coach, my late soccer coach, passed away when I was in the eighth or ninth grade. Really, really good guy. And he always told me, Scott, I rather a better person than a better player. And so we made shirts for him. It said, better a better person than a better player. And I love that. I wore that shirt with pride because I wasn't always the most talented person on any team I ever played on. There was kids that were doing Olympic development soccer and training with all these premier teams, and somehow I always got chose to be a captain of the team that I was on. Okay, because I showed up for other people and I encouraged other people. I was committed. I had a big vision for the team. I was gritty. I was consistent. I showed up. These are the things that you get paid for. Talent isn't enough. Okay, so what sets the great apart from the good is not talent. It's the standards they refuse to compromise when no one is watching. So be thinking about that this year, guys. When you're thinking about being set apart, what are the standards that you live by that you're not willing to compromise on when no one's watching? Okay. This is a standard, not a slogan. I want to talk to you guys about, I did a 100-mile race. I got 10 minutes to do this. This is going to be crazy. So if some of you can hang out for a little bit longer, great. If not, I'll have the recording up on YouTube tonight. I did a 100-mile race my very first month here as an agent. And I just want you guys to know it took a lot of preparation. So we showed up to the race and everyone had their tents out. And a 100-mile race takes you more than just a 12-hour day. You're gonna be running through the night. You're gonna be running in the morning the next day. You're going for a long time. So you got to be prepared. And I saw everyone, Kate and I rolled in, and everyone was setting up their tents and all their gear, and they had all this professional stuff laid out. It was a pretty big deal because if you're going to keep yourself alive running for an hour, or I'm sorry, for over 24 hours, you're going to need a lot of equipment. You're going to need a lot of gear, a lot of fancy stuff. So you guys can see there on the ground, I bought 2 pairs of running shoes. One of those is Kate's. I see her slippers there too, but I also had a pair of recovery shoes there. You guys can see in the back of the trunk, we've got supplements, a lot of them. We have so much water, bananas, food. We had Sour Patch Kids in there. We had massage tools, like the little lacrosse balls that you roll your feet out on. We had like a quad massager that you roll over your quads when you get cramps. I had running sticks in there, like running poles, because I knew that at a certain point I wasn't going to be able to keep myself up. So I needed poles to keep myself moving and standing up. Like we had a lot of gear. It was pretty crazy. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars spent on gear for this race to keep me alive for what took me 27 hours. And I never slept. All right. So, can someone unmute and answer me this question? Does this set me apart?
Yes.
Okay. I would challenge you, Rod. I would challenge you. I'm so glad you unmuted. Just because I showed up with all the knowledge and with all the gear does not mean that I was set apart. Because I want to go back here for you guys. What sets me apart? The things that I'm not willing to compromise on when no one was watching. Because there became a certain point, and I have another question for you guys. Or does this set me apart? Is that picture working? Okay, it's messed up on my side. There we go. Okay, what set me apart was at 2 in the morning when most of the runners were sleeping and all of the fans had gone into their tents and no one was cheering for me. This is what set me apart. Thank God. You guys actually probably know these guys. Anyone remember Brandon Wolf? He was one of my very first agents. And Liz, does anybody remember Liz, my cousin? She was my third agent. That's her husband. Okay. Thank God. And I want you guys to think of association. Thank God I had the team. I wouldn't have made it through the night without these guys. Brandon had never ran over 5 miles in his life, and he decided to run 28 with me that night. He kept me alive. And then Curtis showed up after working a 9-hour shift, drove 3 hours, and came and helped me finish the morning shift. Okay, so I wouldn't have stayed alive without these guys. But I would think what sets us apart is not how we prepare, how much knowledge we have, but it's about what we do in the dark. So set yourself apart this year. Okay, set yourself apart. Now, being set apart is different by design. Okay, this is a new year. I want you guys to take a deep breath here. We're setting a new standard for this team. We're not going to get louder. We're not going to get more flashy. We're not going to pretend to be something that we aren't. We're going to be different in behavior. That's what our goal is this year, is to be different in behavior. And being set apart means that we're separated for a purpose. Put a 4 in the chat if you think you're here on purpose. If you don't put a 4, you're probably here by accident. I'm not sure what you're doing because this is pretty hard. All right, you're here for a purpose. This is an industry where a lot of people blend into being normal. If you've been here for a while, you know that's true. A lot of people are just average here in this industry. All right, we don't blend in. We're different, and our standards create separation from the rest of the industry. All right, now this is most agents. This is how most people roll. Okay, this is normal behavior. So if you want to be normal, do these things. All right, normal gets normal results. And we as a team need to choose. Yep, Chris, I'm with you. Down. That's a thumbs down for me. That's a no for me, dog. I do not want to be normal. One of my favorite verses, Kate and I said at our wedding, we're in the world, but not of the world. We don't have to do the same things everyone else is doing around us. We don't have to do our marriage the same way we see other people doing marriage. We don't have to run our business the same way we see other people run their businesses. So don't wait to feel ready. All right, do the opposite. If you're blaming external factors or leads, don't do that. Okay, playing the blame game gets you no friends here, and it puts you in a really rough spot. Instead of drifting, you need to train and prepare yourself more and more and more because there's no arrival here. I've seen Giovanna have $50 weeks, and I've seen her have a $20,000 week in deposits. Okay, that's not normal. That takes constant preparation because even during that $50 week, she knew where she was going. She didn't throw in the towel during that $50 week. I remember in September we had one of them. It was a whole week and you got to Friday and you're like, "Oh crap, well, at least I have a strong vision for this because that really hurt." All right? So normal gets normal results. We choose a different path. All right? This is what most agents do. They wait to feel ready, they blame external factors, and they stay busy instead of being productive, and they react instead of prepare. So go out and prepare yourself. All right, next here, 4 cornerstones. We've got belief. This is for symmetry, our 4 cornerstones. So you guys all, if you don't have this printed out on your whiteboard somewhere in your office, yeah, you're behind the curve. So make sure that you find our document with our 4 cornerstones on it and learn them because they're really important. We've got belief, massive action and constant correction, commitment to personal growth, and association. So I want to start first with belief. All right. This is the first cornerstone for a reason. And this is my favorite one because this is the only thing that kept Kate and I going at the beginning. I really think it takes a tremendous amount of faith to build something big. Would you guys agree? You can put an amen in the comments with me. All right. Faith can mean anything to you guys. I know what it means for me, but it takes a lot of faith to grow something really big because you have to believe before the numbers show up. You have to believe that our work matters and families depend on us. And you have to believe, just like Giovanna did, that bad weeks don't change who we are. If you had a bad 2025, the results in it, who cares? Wipe it off. Maybe some of you, gosh, just being transparent here, maybe some of your 2026s has started off like Kate and I's. It's been a bad start already. We've had a bad week. All right, that doesn't define you. That doesn't define you, so you got to wipe it off. Bad weeks don't change who we are. What you do when no one's watching changes who you are. That sets you apart. All right. Number 2 is massive action, constant correction. Act first, adjust fast, ego off, all those things are important, okay? Clarity comes from action, not thinking. We cannot be an agency that waits. We need to be an agency that moves. Celebrate first, encourage first, reach out first, come with energy first, be the first to show up. Get your team into the Mac room. Be the first in the Mac room for the day. Challenge other people to beat you there. Show up first. You got to act first. Okay? We don't wait, we move. And feedback isn't criticism, it's acceleration. So when you got to turn the ego off. If someone that is further along in this business is giving you feedback and you ignore it, you're not being coachable. You got to try and try and try and try and try. And then you can go back to them and say, hey, this is what happened. Your ego has to be turned off. Feedback isn't criticism, it's acceleration. And this alone, guys, just these few things are going to separate you from 90% of agents. I promise you. It's going to separate you. All right, commitment to ongoing personal growth. You guys can see on the screen here, the work you do when no one's watching. You hear a lot of people say that. I just said it. The work you do when no one's watching is the stuff that builds you. It's true. Skills pay bills. Go get trained up on how to do this better. If there's an area in your process, I'm going to call it out right now. It's either picking up the phones, you're too scared, making the dials, keeping people on the phone for more than 15 seconds, booking the appointment and tying it down, getting them to show, running an effective appointment, or closing the deal. One of those 7 things is your kryptonite right now. Well, skills pay bills. So find the one thing and go get better at it. Don't leave this week until you're better at that one thing. If you can't get people to show up to appointments, that's no one on this screen's fault. You got to go find a way to get better. All right? You don't rise to goals, you fall to preparation. So reading and training and role playing and associating and showing up to training calls, that's separation. That'll set you apart. Okay? And I want you guys to hear this because a lot of you are on this screen and you're very skilled at this. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Growth doesn't always show up in income right away. You got to be faithful. You got to have faith. Keep going. All right, number 4, association. My second favorite. All right, you guys see here, standards over comfort. I didn't run this by Kate first, so we got a spelling grammatical error here. Standards over comfort, accountability over excuses, iron sharpens iron. Great things, okay? These are like my rah-rah, this is association, but really, guys, this culture on this team is different. Now being a 130, I have eyes into every single team within Symmetry. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. We have less problems, less drama, and better people than any agency within Symmetry, and we're so much smaller than a lot of these bigger agencies. We're so much smaller. Like in a scale of volume, we're probably somewhere in the 40s or 50s as far as volume goes. Maybe top 30. I'll give us some benefit there. Maybe top 30. We have a better culture than any of them. You guys love well, you support well. Giovanna, I love that you call this family. I'm just looking right at you on my screen because you're right there front and center. Sarah Neal is a culture builder. Brooke Harder's a culture builder. Rod's a culture builder. Jared Latonia's a culture builder. McKinley. I'm just looking at the 6 people there on my screen. Guys, our culture is different. Way less drama, way less problems. There are fires going on in other agencies. I want to thank you guys that no fires happened in 2025 relationally. Pat yourself on the back. So now that there's no room for drama and you guys already know that, there's only room for growth. There's nothing standing in your way. All right? If you got a problem with me, maybe it's time to say it. Am I standing in your way, guys? No. The door's wide open. We have an amazing culture here. So we don't tolerate victim thinking, and who you run with determines where you go in life. So find some good running buddies. All right? This is how we show up for our clients. Prepared, always good. Professional, always good. Ethical, service-driven. That's why I love when Michelle said, what was it? The hospitality type industry. Yeah, we're in the hospitality industry. You take care of people, you get paid well. All right? I want you guys to think about a few things when it comes to helping out your clients. We got to listen more than we talk. A lot of you need to do better at this. I've heard appointments. You're doing all the talking. You need to listen way more than you talk. I'll land the plane here in 3 minutes. Listen more than you talk. Educate, do not pressure. All right. But if you knew someone was in a burning building, but they haven't seen the fire or the smoke yet, would you tell them to get out? Would you? Answer me that in the chat. If they hadn't seen the fire or the smoke yet, would you tell them to? Because that's what you guys are up against when you're on the phone with one of your clients. There's smoke and fire in the building, but they haven't seen it yet. There's a problem. If they don't say yes to you, who are they going to get coverage from? Okay? Because if they pass away and their family's left without coverage, that's a burning building. That's not fun to deal with. All right? That is a tragedy. So warn them about the burning building. There's your sense of urgency, but do it with hospitality. Do it the right way. Don't pressure them, educate them. We do the right thing when no one's looking, even when it costs us money. And our clients will feel the difference. Our clients will feel it. Sarah Hadley, are you still here? All right.
I had to opt for an appointment.
That's cool. Let's go with Wilbur. Wilbur, how many times have you heard from a client that they went with you because someone else was rude to them or put too much pressure on them?
Quite a few.
How important is this to position yourself this way with your clients?
Super important. I mean, you're a human providing you're a human providing a service that happens to the end result happens to be a product. You're not a human pushing a product. There's a difference.
100%. And they feel that. I've had so many clients. I know Jared does this too because he's just a nice guy to work with. Like when your clients tell you, I'm so glad I talked to you because you were way different from the first person that called me. They tried to close me on the first call and they weren't listening to me. So yes, you gotta listen more than you talk, but you also just be a good human with your clients. All right? Really important. So clients will feel the difference. And then last but not least, guys, this is my challenge to you. Where are you called to be different in your business? How are you going to set yourself apart this year? How are you going to set yourself apart? Is it going to be in activity? Is it going to be in preparation? Maybe you need more belief. Maybe it's discipline. Maybe it's your standards that you live by. Maybe it's non-related to the business and you're going to get in killer shape this year and you're finally going to do it and follow through with it. Okay? Whatever that is, maybe you're going to get closer to God this year. Maybe you're going to build a relationship that you've been needing to get back for a long time in your family. Maybe you're going to go and build a base shop and you're going to add new agents to your team and you're going to create a nice landing spot for them to come and enjoy what they do. All right. How are you going to set yourself apart this year? This year, we move on commitment, not motivation. There's no flashy lights and loud music here. This is just me talking raw to you guys. We're going to do the work. All right. And I'm excited to run with people that are willing to step up and be set apart. Okay. Because we chase good standards. We chase good non-negotiables, not hype. It's not about the talk. It's about how you show up.
This is defective. Where do I put it?
I don't know, man. All right. If you guys do this, the results are inevitable, and I'm excited to see where everyone lands the year. So let's have a set apart year. Let's be different. Hopefully this was impactful for you guys. Thank you for staying on an extra 6 minutes. Let's go make this a killer year. If you do not know what one of our big rocks means, go schedule a meeting with your agency owner and figure out how to learn a little bit more about those big rocks, okay? Love you guys. Let's have an amazing year. Good to see everybody.
Enjoy, Scott. Enjoy your day, man. Enjoy.